Oliver Sacks, it's very nice to meet you.
Daniel Lovitsky. Danielle, actually. But people call me Danny, mostly.
Please.
Very nice to meet you, too.
Okay, yeah, please take a seat. So, do you have a resume?
Yes, I do have one.
Can I see it?
Oh, yes, you can. Absolutely. It's just a little coffee spill I'm trying to dry.
It's legible, right?
Oh, yes, just my name is a little smudged, that's all.
Well, listen, it's lucky you already told me that. Danielle, right? But people call you Danny, mostly. Look, listen, I'm not going to hold a coffee stain against you.
Thank you. I know I don't have much professional experience, but...
Listen, in an interview, don't point out your flaws.
Right? Please strike that off the record, Counselor.
It looks like you have a lot of professional experience, huh? You worked as a hairdresser for 8 years?
But not in a law firm.
I don't think too many firms have in-house hairdressers now. Hairdressers require good social skills. I'm assuming you interacted a lot with different people.
Oh man, I could give you some stories.
Listen,
I could tell you, but I won't right now.
Listen,
but I could.
Nice go, huh? So you're obviously a go-getter.
Yes, I am.
Matthew, we got 3 Russians in the conference room, and vodka's not going to take the edge off the settlement.
Masking Bibawit, this is Danielle Lewinsky. Danielle's starting Monday. Well, unless you don't want to work here.
Oh, no, I do. Wow.
And listen.
That's fantastic.
Danielle even studied a little law.
Well, I studied a lot of law, actually. Otherwise, I would never have passed the bar.
You passed the bar?
Of course.
Wow, that's terrific!
Are you in the habit of hiring lawyers who haven't passed the bar?
You're interviewing to be a lawyer?
Yes, of course.
Well,
I am a lawyer.
I'm sorry, see, I thought you were interviewing for the assistant position. I mean, Andrea told me that she wasn't going to be coming back after her maternity leave, so I...
Oh.
Hey, listen, this was... I mean, there was clearly a miscommunication on this.
Right. Miscommunication. Okay. Well.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your time.
Great. So one more time. Good seeing. You have a tendency to, not you, Danny,
right,
has a tendency to, her mouth just goes, and her mind doesn't catch up with it. Does that make sense? So I think you can come in. Well, I think you can come in with, I'm Danny. Okay. You could, and that could have been it. But your mind goes off with Danny.
Yes.
I'm Danny Lewinsky, and that's where you could stop. But Danny, and people call me. He doesn't care.
Okay.
And then catch yourself when it starts to go off.
Okay.
And then and it's like this the line with I could tell you some crazy stories.
Exactly.
It's because you're trying to be professional. You've been a hairdresser and you're used to gabbing and you're used to, but this isn't it. This is you trying to be professional. So try to catch yourself going back to, it's like when you make a connection with him, he's like, I bet you have some stories. You're like, oh, do I? And like you go off, which is totally unprofessional, and you catch yourself. So there's the beat of, but I'm not going to tell you.
Right.
But you're trying to save yourself, but I could. You know, it's just your mouth goes and your mind finally tells it to like, hush.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Be more aware of that.
Right.
And you're use the nervous energy to your advantage. I mean, you are so nervous, and you spilled it. You spilled it. And you're trying to calm yourself down by talking, but it's not working.
Okay.
And I want you to be the reverse. I want you to actually bring Oliver down.
Okay.
And be more calm, more cool, more in control. I think you sense her nervousness, and you're trying to bring her down by just a calming voice. You know, and be more charming. if that makes sense. You know, you can tell her, and you're complimenting everything about her resume. You know, it's great that you were this, you know, hairdresser for all this time. You have that personal experience, and you just be the calming, confident, in control voice, as opposed to, you don't need to do the fake, like, that's great. It's more of, that's great.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
There was one other note. I'll try and not miss my cue this time. That note is for me. And
Well, it didn't bug you that I looked at you because I was supposed to actually look at you when.
no, it was perfect.
Okay.
Because I totally forgot I had a line until you looked at me. And there was one other thing. This just means the world to you.
Right.
Everything that he compliments has been a negative. Every job interview you've gone, they're saying you have no professional experience, you worked as a hairdresser, you don't belong here. You know, night school, who would hire someone from night school? And in your mind, those are all positives. Mm-hmm. You're a go-getter, you're an overachiever, you have made relationships with people, and he's seeing that. Mm-hmm. Granted, he thinks you're interviewing for a secretary, but he sees everything that you think of. Finally, somebody gets you.
Right.
And I think you're very quick not to get your hopes up because you always get shot down, but I think you get your hopes up. So I think the final beat at the end, it can hit you a little harder. Like, you almost want to run out crying. You're not going to, because that's not what Danny would do. Right. But all that's underneath there, where you finally got your hopes up, and now it's been pulled up. The carpet's been pulled up from underneath.
Okay.
Let's try it.
Oliver Sacks.
Daniel,
very
it's
nice
me,
to
Danny.
meet you.
Actually, most people call me Danny, mostly. Very nice to meet you too.
Oh, please, sit down. So, do you have a resume?
Yes, I do actually. Yes.
Well, can I have it?
Yes, absolutely. It's just got a little coffee on it, spill. Tried to dry it. I kind of saw someone and got distracted.
It's legible, correct?
Oh yeah, pretty much. Just my name is a little smudged.
Well, it's lucky you already told me that. Daniela, correct? But people call you Danny, mostly? Listen, don't worry. I'm not going to let a little coffee spill, you know, hold it against you.
Thank you. I know I don't have that much professional experience, but...
Listen, a little word of advice, okay? In an interview, never point out your flaws.
Right, please strike that from the record.
It's all right. I mean, it looks like you have plenty of professional experience. You worked as a hairdresser for 8 years?
But not in a law firm.
Well, you know, not many firms have in-house hairdressers. Oh, hairdresser requires some good social skills. I'm assuming that you've interfaced with a whole lot of different people, have you?
Oh, fine. God, I could get you some stories, some crazy stories, but I won't right now. But I could.
That's cool, huh? So listen, it seems to me you're obviously a go-getter.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Matthew, I have 3 Russians in the conference room, and Vodka's not going to take the edge off their settlement.
Listen, Matthew Bibawit, this is Danielle Lewitsky. She's starting on Monday. Well, unless you don't want to work here.
Oh, no, I do. I definitely do. I just, wow. This is fantastic.
Hey, Danielle even has a little law experience.
Well, actually, I have a lot of law experience. Otherwise, I would never pass the bar.
You passed the bar?
Of course.
I mean, that's terrific.
Are you in a habit of hiring lawyers who haven't passed the bar?
You're interviewing to be a lawyer?
Yes, of course. I am a lawyer.
Oh, listen, I'm sorry. See, I thought you were interviewing for the assistant position. You see, Andrea's, I mean, she told me she's not going to come back after her maternity leave, so...
Oh.
I mean, listen, this was clearly a misunderstanding, you know, I'm really sorry about that.
Right.